I'd like to share with you a letter that I have written to Mr. and Miss Tommy Ray. And it goes, Dear Mr. and Miss Tommy Ray and Pickens County School District family, as you may know from the press release earlier today, there were concerns raised about a situation involving your child while at her choral performance last night. The situation occurred, while not intentionally, is serious, and I regret that our student, your family, and our community had to endure it. The matter had been handled directly with you. While there were no malicious intentions on the part of the staff, this was a serious matter, and we have handled the incident from a personnel perspective as well. I have known your family since your child came to kindergarten, and I am saddened that this has occurred. I want to offer my sincere apologies to your child and family, as well as to the entire Pickens County community. You have entrusted me to educate and protect your children, and I will continue to be diligent in my efforts at earning and maintaining your trust. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. My door is always open. The situation that occurred is that while on stage with the performance, on the risers were the students, except for this one student who was in a chair next to the risers but was not that close to the risers. It was a larger stage than what they've been practicing on, and it was a serious incident that it looked like she was segregated and set apart. It was not the intentions of the staff, although that's exactly what it looked like, and I do apologize for the way it looked. There was no intentions to separate or segregate her, but I do feel very saddened at the fact that she did have to endure that separation and segregation, and we have ensured that nothing like this can ever slip through the cracks and happen again. And for that reason, I do apologize to the family, to the student, and to all of our stakeholders that were there at the concert and those that have responded to Facebook. We will ensure that my office will protect every student in the school system and make them feel just as welcomed and wanted and needed as any other student in the school system. And I appreciate the trust that the school board and the community has placed in me in making sure that every child has the best educational opportunities as possible. I'd like to take this opportunity, and I want to thank you, Mary, for giving me the opportunity to share with Pickens County about our DOVA. And DOVA stands for Dragon Opportunity and Virtual Academy. We decided about a year ago to take our alternative school program in-house, but we wanted to expand it. Our DOVA program is really, we're looking at 3 different schools within one school. Right now it is housed here next to the central office in the where the board used to meet, the old library. It's there right now, but we do have some plans to move it. Right at the moment, it's our alternative placement school. If a student gets in trouble, used to, when they got in trouble, it had to be through a tribunal, and then the tribunal sends them to an alternative school. And we used to go to Ombudsman or to Crossroads up in LJ a number of years ago, but we were not happy with the success that those programs were having, and we wanted to bring it in-house, and that's what we did with our alternative school part. So, and we also made it easier. We didn't want tribunals going on some students' records for minor things, so it's almost like an extended ISS. And some students are there for 10 days, some there 20 days, and then there's some that are there because of a tribunal for more serious offenses. And of course, anytime a student is at our alternative school part of that, they cannot participate in any extracurricular, they cannot be on school campuses unless it's through the alternative program. And it's just like a normal that it always has been. But we've also, we know that a number of our students do not perform as well or as successful well in the traditional environment of a high school or the drama sometimes of a high school. So we wanted to offer some alternative programs for those students, and part of that is a virtual part. We've also trying to connect our relationships with Chattahoochee Tech, with also Reinhardt College on dual enrollment. We got students going to Chattahoochee Tech for the automobile collision class over there, also for the welding classes. We'd like to increase some on for cosmetology. But coming back to the high school, the bell schedules didn't match, and so sometimes they were very limited to what they could do in extracurricular. With dual enrollment. And we wanted to help those students to be able to be successful and participate at Chattahoochee Tech. So by taking virtual classes, they can come back to our DOVA and take a virtual class which would fill up the rest of their day. We also wanted to add a complete virtual academy. There's been a number of our students that have gone through complete virtual academies. Some of them goes through the Georgia Department of Education virtual high school and take classes there. So we want to try to be able to reach all of our students and help them to be most successful in the environments in which they are more comfortable with. We're proud to be associated with Mountain Education Chartered High School, which gives our students an opportunity to go to a night school, work during the day, and they take virtual classes. Well, our daytime virtual school works very similar to that. Some of the students that don't like the drama or the traditional type of high school can be successful on a virtual academy. All of our students at DOVA is a program of our high school. So in order to go to DOVA, you have to be a Pickens County high school student. And if our students are there and they are participating either in a partial program where they go virtual school part of the day and regular classes part of the day, or they're taking all virtual classes, those students are just like the ones that are the high school students going to Reinhardt for half a day or Chattahoochee Tech for half a day. It's a dual enrollment kind of program, but so some of them are just doing it through virtual school, or they're doing the entire day through virtual school. Those students still are high school students, and they can participate in all the extracurricular and all the things that our high school offers. We're just trying to give as many students opportunities to be successful in whatever environment that they're in. We do believe that our virtual part could grow. I know throughout the state of Georgia there's a number of virtual high schools and virtual elementary schools, and some places they let students outside their district zones to actually participate in those schools. Well, right now you've got to be a member of Pickens High School in order to be a part of our DOVA. I do want to stress though, that's 3 different schools within our DOVA. We have our regular alternative program for discipline purposes. Those students are there because of something that they got in a little bit of trouble and they're having to go to a different placement. Those students do not get to participate in extracurricular while they are there. But once a child is punished for something they've done, then they can move on and be a part of the community just like the rest of our students. Then we have those that are doing actual dual enrollments with Chat Tech, Dalton College, Reinhardt, where they need to help fill in the rest of their schedule to match that schedule off campus. And then we have right now, we're piloting 11 students on a full virtual schedule. And we're working the kinks out with that to make sure that it matches, make sure they get all the graduation requirements, make sure that they don't get behind in any of the subject areas. And currently if a student, and we monitor those students very, very closely, and if they're falling behind or not keeping up with their work virtually, they have to come in and actually be there at DOVA to get caught back up, and they have to earn the right to stay on that virtual program. If it starts where they're not completing the subject, the test, or either in any kind of test they have to come in and take, but if they're not completing their homework, and they then will have to convert back to regular school where they have to go every day with a teacher in the classroom. So we're just trying to expand the opportunity for more students to be successful.
So virtual means that they are not at the school. They're doing it from their home or what?
They can actually do it both ways. If they're being successful and they're staying caught up with all their work and everything's being turned in on time and being completed correctly, and then they can complete their entire program for that class at home. But if they are not being 100% successful and also on the pace to be successful, then they actually have to come into the school and complete it virtually there at school with being monitored and with some facilitation.
So is those DOVA hours the same as the school then, the
Yes.
ones that are internally?
It is. Right now it's the same as the school.
So the alternative people would go the same amount of time?
One of the changes that we are looking at this next year, we will be locating, we're adding 5 or 6 classrooms to the high school. It would be in a separate building altogether, but this will house our alternative school and our virtual academy together, so that those students that need to take some virtual classes along with regular classes, a hybrid type schedule, or the school students that are coming back from Chattahoochee Tech or from Reinhardt or something from taking classes and the bell schedules don't match correctly, then they can also take some virtual classes there at the at DOVA, which will be located at the high school.
Is DOVA only for high school students then, or?
Right now we also have it for 6th grade, 6th and 7th and 8th grade. And we will have we're also going to place one classroom at our Pickens County Junior High for those students. But right now the actual virtual part of the academy is we've got it set up right now just for our high school students. A year or so after we make sure we're very successful with the high school part, we may start extending that to the junior high. But right now, the only part with junior high would be the alternative program, which is a discipline-based program.
Right. And so the pilot program with the 11 kids, it just started this school year?
Just started actually in January.
Oh, recent. So.
We brought DOVA in, we started our DOVA program, our alternative program, where we brought it in-house this school year. We did away with the Ombudsman, which we actually, it was another company that came in and ran our alternative school program. So we discontinued that, we brought that in-house, and in addition to that, we've just started this past January, our true virtual academy.
I guess you really don't have a capacity then with virtual then, if they're not actually having to physically be there.
Technically, no, we don't. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting in the fact that, we're going to make sure we're going to monitor student progress and performance. And it will play into helping a number of our students. Some still have to work and help support their families, and it would help some of those students with their jobs. We do have some students that are competing in different sports at national and international levels. I know we've got a couple of students that shoot shotguns, and a couple of them are trying out for the Junior Olympics. And so we've had some students that have been limited on being able to participate in national and international kind of programs because of not being able to work out a school schedule. Well, this would also help facilitate some of that through a virtual school program.
And I guess on a whole different note, since y'all doing this virtual, will this help with like school being out? Will y'all eventually be able to do a virtual snow day?
Yes, we're working towards that right now, especially with all the cameras that we put in the classrooms, and we'll start recording those lessons. If we are out because of weather, if we can, at that point, if we get 90-something% of our students participating in an online activity during that day, then we can count that as a day present and not a day absent, which would help us not to have to make up some of those inclement weather days. And a number of school systems already do that. I know Forsyth County being one of them has perfected it, Dawson County, a few of them around us. So we're catching up with them as far as that part of it goes, but we're ahead of the curve on some of the other things.
Education's changing it. They got to
Yes,
change with the times.
Absolutely. We're really trying to help our students to be successful, and we're trying to use whatever environment we can to help prepare them for the next level, whatever that next level may be. We did have an incident last week where one of our sports teams, one of our JV teams, was returning home from a game, an away game. And unfortunately, we had a number of our students to participate in vaping. And because of the size of that particular JV team, having a number of those players now being punished because of the vaping incident, it did facilitate us to have to cancel some of the scheduled games for those students. Because it's not a team where you have a number of backup players. It is just one of 3 teams at the high school. We have a 9th grade team, a junior varsity team, and a varsity team. And so some of the players do get to play on multiple levels. But our JV team itself, we did have to cancel some of our scheduled baseball games because of the number of our students that chose to do something stupid that day and actually participate in vaping. And those students are being punished just like any other student at the school that was caught vaping would have been punished. We do not discriminate on who it is, if it's an athlete, or it could be somebody in student council, or it could be just one of our regular students. If they get in trouble for vaping, then they all get punished the same.
Is there a standard vaping punishment then?
Yes.
What is it?
If you're caught vaping, it's a 10-day placement at DOVA. If you're caught distributing it, meaning bringing it and giving it to somebody, it's a 20-day placement. There are a few other things. We've got some very exciting things going on. We have just received a very nice notice of substantial donation that will help go to the building of our softball baseball complex. I am very happy to say that it's a very sizable donation, which we greatly appreciate, and we'll speak more about that in days and weeks to come. Also, our remodeling and additions to Pickens County Junior High is about to kick off full force. We open the bids tomorrow, and we'll start the construction of that very shortly with a complete renovation of the school. Also, we'll be adding some additional classrooms where the office area is, and we'll be adding a performing arts building there with new administrative offices, and we're changing the entrance to the school. We're making it a much safer enclosed campus. I think as soon as we get finished up with some artist renditions, we will publicize those. We've got that going on. We've also, with our Representative Rick Jaspers, he is helping to move away from militia lines for our school board members to actual district lines for not for schools, but for running for school board. And if anyone wants to come by and look and make comments on that, we have a large map here in our office in the lobby area that they can come and look. It was also in the paper last week in the Pickens Progress. And so, and it's also on KnowPickens, so go to KnowPickens and look at it, and if you need to make comments, there's places for that. But so there's a lot of exciting things happening. We also have our 5-year certification coming up with Advanced Ed. That starts this coming Sunday. The team will be here Sunday through Wednesday, interviewing and talking to our staff and going out to the schools and talking to some of our community members. And we're excited about Advanced Ed coming to renew our certification. A lot of great things happening, and I'm excited just to be here.